This is ridiculous. Okay, so welcome back to the That's Not My Ministry podcast. This is your host, Ebony. Welcome to episode 2. You know, we're here. Now, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel and not listening to this on Spotify, iTunes, Spreaker, then you will see that she is au naturel. She is naked faced. She has no makeup on. It is 9 something in the morning. So I wanted to come to you because I believe in being transparent. And that's what this podcast is about. It's just down home, us just getting to know each other, talking, our feelings, all of those things. And so why not only be transparent vocally, but also physically. So y'all are actually going to get some of the things that I do on my other YouTube channel at Ebby Reviews, where I do get ready with me and all that good stuff. You're going to get the excuse me, I'm thirsty. The face before I put on the face. And we're going to talk about a couple of things. Okay. So, okay. I'm going to check the email to see if I got anything, and we didn't have any questions. So, that being put aside, so let's start, because this conversation has been popping off on TikTok, and I've seen it in several places, and I don't have a lot to say, but I do have an opinion on it, and everybody else is giving their opinion, so why not give mine? Let's talk about preferences and biphobia and why, and just why. So here's what I have to say about the situation and the circumstance. If you are not if you're not attracted to a person, if you have preferences, like I prefer men. I prefer straight men. Now, that doesn't make me biphobic. That doesn't make me homophobic. That's just who I'm attracted to. Just like I wouldn't expect a gay man to be attracted to me because I'm not his preference. He prefers other men. Listen, I don't discriminate on friends for that particular reason. Like, if you're gay, straight, whatever, as long as you're a good person, we can be cool. The same does not go. I have a different set of preferences for somebody who I would like to be. Why don't we just knock all the eyelashes over? I have a different set of preferences or standards for someone who I am trying to have a long-term committed relationship with. So if you don't like the fact that I would prefer to date what I'm attracted to, then there's something wrong with you. That's not my issue. And the fact that I don't understand how people are getting The person said, well, would you date me? And you say no. And then they're like, well, why wouldn't you date me? I'm not attracted to you. Well, why? Because I'm not attracted to you. And that's the end of the conversation. Why you want a whole dissertation? Okay, this is just an exfoliating situation. I forgot it. I did a little shavy shave this morning. Oh. That one piece is sensitive. Oh, daughter. Okay. This is just an extra thing. I've washed my face already this morning. But this is all extra. Make sure no dead skins are left. Oh, I forgot about that thing. Jesus, hold on. Hold on, y'all. Because I'm also working. Yeah, I stay multitasking. Y'all know. I don't want to sign in. I want the I gotta save that thing as a favorite so I can always go back to it. Oh, I gotta do her thing too. And I don't want breakfast. I want a lot of things. I feel like this is chaos right now, but I got it down. Okay, so we got a new phone system, and I gotta remember to sign in. We don't get calls, so what they want? Why we need to be all up in the new system is beyond me. But I follow instructions because that's what I do. Just a little moisturizer. But yeah, that's like your preferences is your preferences. As long as you're not disrespectful to the people who are outside of your preference when stating your preferences, then I don't have an issue. If you don't like big girls and if you don't like big girls and you don't want to date a big girl, then cool. But you don't have to be like, I would never date no fat, nasty, bop, 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 bop. All those things, that's unnecessary. That's unnecessary. If you prefer women from the Caucasus Mountains, I'm going to do that again at the end. Again, as long as you are not being disrespectful in I hope that's right. As long as you're not being disrespectful in, to this is because this is a big pet peeve of mine. Black men, this is for you. Come to the screen, come close. Let Auntie talk to you. If your preference is white women, then state why you love white women. Black women should not enter your conversation when you're stating your preference. And if you can't state your preference for white women without mentioning black women, you need to talk to somebody. because there's something else going on with you. Because I can state 15 reasons why I love black men without mentioning any other race at any time about any. Okay, this face is getting active, baby. Without mentioning any other race in any negative or derogatory way. And you should be able to do the same. If it's truly your preference has nothing to do with us. If that's just how you roll and that's what you want, then so be it. You don't have to mention us not one time in listing your preference for white women over black women. Point blank, period, the end. And if you're wondering, yes, I do this every morning before I get on camera to do a get ready with me. All of that happens. Everything that you just saw happens. This is a new step because I just got this lip balm and I added on top. Now, I really want to talk about being the bigger person and how being the bigger person in certain situations is the right thing to do, but sometimes not being the bigger person is also the right thing to do. Let's take the situation that happened with my family in the last couple of weeks. We found out that a family member close to us in the inner circle, husband, well, there was rumors. Well, we got some confirmations about some things that have happened. And about him not being faithful. And so I was triggered because, as you know, fidelity is my line in the sand, and I have a big issue and past trauma from my childhood and how my parents' marriage ended. So, you know, I was triggered. So I politely came on to God's Good Internet, and it wasn't polite. I was rude, and I meant all the rude things that I said. But sometimes, you know, you want to be the bigger person for the situation. Sometimes you want to turn cheek because we, as saved people and Christians, that's how we're taught. You know, turn the other cheek, not to get offended, things of that nature. And sometimes that is the better part of valor. Sometimes being the bigger person is the absolute correct thing to do. However, sometimes you are the rod of correction. See, this is what people, I think, get misconstrued. Sometimes you are used as the rod of correction or the consequence. You were the consequence to whatever action it is that was done that requires a consequence. because there are consequences to every single thing that you do. And regardless of what it is, good or bad, there's going to be it's a reaction to every action. So, excuse me, I'm trying to scoop my chair up and scoop back in it so we get comfortable. And sometimes the Lord will use you as that correction. He will let you snap. You who is like, I should be the bigger person, I should let this go. And then there are in some instances where you're just like, not this time, not this one. No, we not letting this particular thing go. And so you would take, as some would call, the low road. Some of us go to the Funky Dineva School of Clapbacks. So sometimes being the bigger person is giving the clapback. Sometimes being the bigger person is speaking to it and not letting it ride. I have learned that in this life, in the 40 years that I've been living, that sometimes you absolutely have to give it back. It is the way you got it. Sometimes it's okay to just let it ride and be like, I'm very much a person of not everything needs to be spoken to. Not everything has to be spoken to. You pick and choose your battles. You don't have to speak to everything. That's how I was raised. That's my mama. That's my mama all day. You pick your battles. You don't have to speak to everything. But some things need to be spoken to. Some things you can't let ride, because if you let that situation ride, then that person is going to continue damaging people in that same manner, because there are no consequences to their actions. So sometimes, yes, but you do what you gotta do. Now, I am going to say this in regards to having to speak to a situation. You need to be good with whatever the consequence comes from you speaking to said situation, because there's going to be a consequence. Somebody might be mad at you. Somebody might, you might lose friends. You might lose family members for speaking to a specific situation. But you have to be, you might go to jail. But you need to be, you need to be okay with whatever is going to happen after you speak to, if you speak back to, or you are the consequences, or you're used as the rod of correction for whatever it is that's going down. You need to be okay with whatever happens after you flip. So I was very okay with whatever was going to happen after I made that video. Whether my cousin was going to be super upset with me and ask me to take it down, which she did not. Whether it, like my mama saw it. My mama was she came into the live while I was flipping. And I thought it would be a problem with her. My mama's only issue is that she was like, everything you said was correct. You made valid points. I just wish you didn't use as many curse words. That was my mama's critique of that whole situation. She's like, some people won't be able to hear your message because we are, she's like, y'all are using too many cuss words. Okay. And I will take that criticism. I will take that criticism, and I'm okay with that in that instance, because the person who needed to hear it, as long as it got back to them and in the manner in which I delivered it, I'm okay. Now, this is not free. Like I said, this is not free will for you to just flip out of every situation. That's not what this is. But sometimes it behooves you to not let it go. Like, we have seen, like in the media, where family members have been murdered and people have forgiven the murderer. If that is how they felt in their spirit, that that's what they needed to do, then so be it. I've also seen in court cases where parents have come across the table and attacked the person that murdered their loved one. And I understand that as well. It just depends on who you are as a person, and again, if you're willing to accept the consequences for whatever it is that you snapping back is going to come about. Because right now, for me, with the people that I snapped on, it's on site for me. It is absolutely, because my hair refuses to lay down. Y'all see my OCD acted up. Okay. It's on site for me with those people. So currently, I feel like if I see any of the people involved in that situation, currently it's on site. At the grocery store, at a funeral. It's on. Come here, let me holler at you for a second. Come here. Let me holler at you right quick. Let me talk to you for a second. Just in case you didn't see the video, let me reiterate what it is that I said, how it is that I feel. Y'all, we always, I got you, boo. No, I shouldn't have touched this while I'm doing this. I know. So all I'm saying is know when to pick your battles. And don't be concerned about what others think about you picking your battles, because what is important to speak to you, speak back to for you, may not be important for somebody else. And other people may be like, oh my God, why would you, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And don't be concerned about what I got going on, please. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Whatever I got going on is what I got going on. And if I want to speak to it, then I will speak to it. Because what's a deal breaker for me may not be a deal breaker for you. And rightfully so. And that ties into having a preference. What I prefer may not be what you prefer. And that's okay. We all have choices and decisions to make in this life, and you do what is best for you. And if that means calling out hypocrisy and foolishness and shenanigans, then so be it. Then so be it. I felt like this was a heavier episode. This is also a shorter episode because it's just me yin-yanging and talking. I'm okay with the length of this episode. Again, your preferences are your preferences. Also, you know, being the bigger person comes in many forms. It's not always turning the cheek. It's not always letting things go that have been done to you. Sometimes being the bigger person is actually speaking to the foolishness, speaking into the face of the foolishness. It is what it is. I think that's all that I have on these two topics. Next week there will be a guest. I don't know which guest that'll be just yet, but if you have any questions, that you want me to answer, if you have any topics that you want me to speak to, please email me at thatsnotmyministry@gmail.com, and I will be more than happy to answer any questions, or maybe even pick your topic as a topic to speak on one of the podcasts. I'm hungry at this juncture. Oh, I'm so starving. This trying to be skinny business is for the birds. Lord, what are we doing? Just, Jesus, what are we doing? Because listen, I feel like I'm hungry all the time. Oh God, the exercising, it's for the birds. Okay, before we get into another conversation that has nothing to do with the topic for today, I think that's it. Thank y'all for coming by. Please work with me. This is a work in progress as I navigate these podcast streets. Again, reach out to the email for the channel if you want any topics discussed, if you have guest suggestions, that type of thing. But thank y'all for coming to listen, and we'll chat again next week. Peace out. I also need to come up with a like a theme song. I need a jingle. Like, that's not my ministry. That's not my ministry. Well, something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Peace out. Shall I have that